Magandang araw mga kabarangay. Pag-usapan natin ang Barangay Ginebra. Through 3 games, anong estado nila, anong mga masasabi ang fans, anong mga masasabi ko, anong mga nararamdaman ko, ano yung mga napansin ko at gusto kong pag-usapan, good and bad news. So ayun na nga, through 3 games, Barangay Ginebra 1-2, 1 win, 2 losses. So I've been seeing a lot of posts from fans na medyo nag-aalala na sila, concerned, and some are panicking already through 3 games about the performance of the team, and I do understand kung bakit nga naman. Anyway, itong video na to, I'm going to be speaking sa microphone diretso. I have some notes naman kasi medyo bored ako tonight. So sabi ko, why not gawa na lang ako ng video, magsalita na lang ako sa mikropono. Total, meron naman akong opinion about this team. Yun, nagsulat ako ng notes para hindi magulo yung utak ko at naka-align naman. At hindi sayang ang oras nyo sa pag-click ng video na to. So ayun, 1-2 nga ang Ginebra. And yung 2 pa kasi doon, yung dalawang talo nila, hindi naman talaga kasi maganda yung nilaro nila. Even si Team Cone na mismo yung nagsabi, hindi maganda yung effort na pinakita ng team. And ayun, so I do understand the concern from the fans na hindi talaga maganda. First game, Riley Grigsby had 42, wala yung local. Second game, it was against Blackwater. Natsambahan ng Ginebra na maganda shooting nila. Malakas ang Blackwater this conference hindi push over ang Blackwater. Nagkataon lang na off-night Blackwater and sobrang init ng Ginebra. And maganda pinakita ng locals that game. And itong against Rain or Shine naman, they fought pero hindi perfect game. Parang maraming butas. Even sa coaching, I think yung rotation sometimes medyo masyadong mahaba. Especially kay Riley Grigsby, na nag-prepare ako ng stats for this video. Gumawa ako sa Google Sheets. Na si Grigsby, every time close game, kasi yung against Blackwater, 33 minutes, hindi siya naglaro ng fourth quarter. So kung lalaroin niya yung buong fourth quarter, ganun din halos 45 minutes. So sa dalawang laro na to, Phoenix and Rain or Shine, 46 minutes si Grigsby, halos hindi nilalabas. Yung labas pa na yon, midway, kalagitnaan ng second quarter, 2 minutes sa gitna. Parang ganon. Kasi si Grigsby, yung minutes niya, legit from the start of the game hanggang kalagitnaan ng second quarter. And napapansin ko na pagdating ng second quarter, lumalaylay yung laro ni Grigsby. And again, I've been seeing posts din about Riley Grigsby na he's not it. So si Grigsby, I still like Riley Grigsby. Though unti-unti na nga siyang nai-scout, unti-unti nang nakikita ng mga teams yung weaknesses niya. So it's up to him. Yung bola nasa court ni Riley Grigsby na mag-adjust and adapt sa kung anong pinapakita sa kanya ng defense. Pero speaking of his game, I think we can safely say na si Riley Grigsby is a shooter. Above average shooter siya. Pinagsama ko na yung 3 tsaka 4 niya kasi para hindi chop suey and para isang buo na lang since yung frequency naman niya kasi mas marami pa nga siya minsan sa 4. So kahit na pinagsama ko, 43% pa rin siya from deep, which is very nice, which is very good. Pero overall, his numbers, 28.3 points, 10 rebounds, 3.3 assist. Nag-improve na yung assist niya. Yung playmaking niya. Sa last 2 games, nagkaroon siya ng 5 assists. Pero yung field goals naman niya, sobrang bumaba to only 15 attempts per game. And nag-struggle talaga siya sa 2-point area. Pero yung first game naman kasi nakita natin na he can slash. Kapag downhill, kapag transition, fast break, or nasa top of the key siya, kaya niya eh. May finishing ability siya. Pero bihira kasi siya magkaroon ng opportunities to do so. Kaya siguro siya maraming sablay near the basket kasi yun yung mga tira na, alam mo yun, na hindi enough momentum for him to gather kasi nagsisimula siya sa elbow. Kumbaga, ginagawa siyang medyo mid-post player na I don't think he's that type of player. He's not a Carmelo Anthony, he's not a Kobe Bryant, he's not Justin Brownlee. Hindi siya ganun, di ba? I think Riley Grigsby is more of a catch and go player na you give him the ball tapos magsa-stampede siya na running motion to the basket, 1 to 2 dribbles sabay downhill attack. Doon siya may finishing, pero kung manggagaling siya sa elbow, doon siguro lumalabas yung pag-settle niya madalas with floaters. And para sa akin, hindi siya sobrang concern kasi alam ko na magigets din naman ito ni Grigsby and ni Coach Tim Cone and ang coaching staff na hindi comfortable si Riley Grigsby sa ganun. Baka mas bigyan siya ng downhill plays, ng spacing para sa kanya to attack from the middle ala si stand kaysa sa mid post and low post. And you know guys, kung napanood nyo yung preview natin, pinakaunang video about Riley Grigsby, first impressions, na-mention ko to na yung floaters ni Grigsby is kind of a red flag kasi pagdating sa PBA is going to be physical, is not going to be the biggest guy on the floor. And even the smaller guys are going to body him up. Like a Jonard Clarito, even a Kaylan Chongson, di ba? Kahit yung mga Mike Malonzo, may kipagbanggaan sa kanya. So the floaters, hindi yan papasay. Kahit yung mga ganyan nila Santi Santillan noon hanggang ngayon nila Balti, kahit favorite shot nila yan, hindi uubra if you do it a lot of times. Kailangan you still have to finish right through the defense kung sa PBA. Kasi yun yung laro dito. Talking about Riley Grigsby, I still like Riley Grigsby. Naniniwala pa rin ako sa kakayahan ni Riley Grigsby. Let's give him more time. And if, the time comes, maybe pagdating ng dulo ng eliminations, Brownlee is ready. Why not? Why not bring back Brownlee? Pero if Riley Grigsby figures it out, na I hope magawa niya kasi as much as possible, sana makapagpahinga si Brownlee buong conference. Like, I'm not saying na itank na yung conference, pero we can do another, isa pang Tony Bishop conference from Riley Grigsby na parang, let's just, live with the results kung ano bang mangyari. Kung quarters or semis exit man, yun talaga eh. Bawi na lang tayo next year, mas healthy. Wag na nating i-risk na lalo pang ma-aggravate yung injuries nila Scotty and nila JB, and rest them. At least nakapag-focus din sa Gilas, sa qualifiers. And pagbalik ng January, magda-draft sila ng first round pick, babalik si Brownlee around February, March. Healthy na si Brownlee. Pero itong stretch din na to, yung 3 games na to for Barangay Ginebra, nakakita rin tayo ng growth areas and growth in general from some of their players. Una sa lahat, si Stephen Holt. Yay! Congratulations! Guys, alam ko naman na nag-tune in kayo sa channel na to minsan kasi alam nyong may sasabihin ako about kay Stephen Holt. Pero this time, since maganda mood ko kasi ang sarap ng Royal na soft drinks na zero sugar, gusto kong purihan si Stephen Holt kasi I can see the initiative. Mula 0 points nung first game, ngayon bounce back si Stephen Holt. Talagang ito kasi, okay guys, ito lang naman yung gusto ko makita kay Stephen Holt, yung nagtatry lang naman. I think we can all agree as Ginebra fans na hindi tayo yung tipo ng fanbase na tinatridor natin yung players natin for no reason at all. Tayo na-appreciate natin yung effort more than anything. Kung talagang banu yung player, banu talaga yung player. Mayroong tipong banu na endearing na parang susuportahan mo kasi nakikita mo nagtatry. Like ako, growing up, paborito kong player si James Forrester. Still to this day, alam ko talented si Forrester. Hindi lang talaga nag-translate yung laro niya. Pero every time makikita natin si Forrester, he tries. Diba? Nag-e-effort siya. So for Stephen Holt, yun lang naman yung kinakainis natin before, na parang alam naming talented ka, Stephen Holt. Alam naming magaling ka. We just want to see the effort and the initiative to try. Diba? Try harder. Yun lang naman. So, as of late, last 2 games, Stephen Holt, wala akong masabi. Appreciate ko effort. Though yung sa game against Rain or Shine, parang first half lang siya nagparamdam. Pero, second half nakita ko ginamit siya as point guard. So, medyo mahihirapan nga naman talaga siyang kumuha ng opportunities to score if nasa point guard position siya. Maybe to have a more flexible defense from Ginebra's end. Maybe to make him more involved sa pag-set ng offense. Nagkaroon naman siya ng 6 assists, pero itong last 2 games ni Holt, kung i-keep up niya the rest of the conference, wala akong problema sa kanya. Masaya ako sa kung anong magiging ending nun for him. Kung pagpapatuloy niya yung ganito na 30-something minutes, 'di ba? 7 to 12 attempts per game, uma-attempt ng 3 points kapag libre. Okay na 'yon. Ano na 'yon, nagawa mo na trabaho mo. You don't have to go 110% every time kasi sometimes, 'di ba? Alam natin 'to mga may trabaho na sometimes yung 110% mo, ang 100 lang naman ang kailangan sa'yo talaga. Hindi naman talaga kailangan yung 110. Sa basketball, mahalaga yung 110 by the way. Pero for Stephen Holt, masaya na ako sa 100% niya. Even nga 99 masaya na ako. Wag lang yung 5 attempts gano'n or 3 attempts. Pero anyway, another player na maganda nilalaro so far. A lot of people would disagree. Marami magsasabi, boy dribble to, si Jeremiah Gray at tira ng tira. Pero yun naman yung role niya. Ang role ni Jeremiah Gray is to be a nuisance sa loob ng court. I hope hindi for Ginebra, pero sa ibang teams, maging nuisance siya. Pero Jeremiah Gray is there to have length at the wing position, to have someone who will shoot a 3-pointer kapag libre. And this conference, ang maganda kay Jeremiah Gray, I think nahanap niya na ulit yung confidence niya. Dahil siguro doon sa finals last conference na talagang nagpakita siya noon. So maybe this conference is some sort of a second breakout conference for Jeremiah Gray. I'm not saying magiging star player pa rin si Jeremiah Gray. Like yung sa role niya, medyo nag-excel na siya doon sa role niya ngayon. As a spark plug off the bench. Kasi parang feeling ko, Jeremiah Gray na ulit siya, hindi na siya nag-aalangan. Like, sometimes, oo, detriment to the team na tira ng tira si Jeremiah Gray. Pero kung makuha niya yung balance, yung confidence niya, yung balance nun, yung confidence and being not super delusional na lahat ng tira, good shot, I think yun yung perfect version ni Jeremiah Gray, and I think we are getting closer to that. And another player na gusto kong pag-usapan ay si John Abyss na nakakakuha ng minutes consistently this conference. Ang maganda kay John Abyss, ano kasi siya he makes mistakes sometimes, di ba? Nagkakamali si John Abyss, hindi siya perfect player, pero again, the effort, ma-appreciate mo. And ano siya, reliable type of, parang Aljon Mariano. Yung ipasok mo lang siya, mag-expect ka ng may gagawin siyang okay. Tapos kapag nagawa niya na yung okay na yun, parang sige, that's good, okay na yan. Thank you very much. Salute, di ba? And for John Abyss, yun lang, gusto kong sabihin na meron siya potential maging parang Aljon, reliable player of the bench. Pero I'm not saying nakalaro niya si Aljon. Baka nga may potential pa si John Abyss maging parang Jonard Clarito. Maybe pagbalik ni David, tapos combo sila ni Abyss tsaka ni trio pala ni Jeremiah Gray. That's a solid bench for Barangay Ginebra. Pero again, going back to Barangay Ginebra in general, ang gusto ko lang sabihin with the Ginebra team, ang opinion ko about them right now, na wag nilang i-rush sana si Brownlee at si Scotty. Like, again, may growth naman na nangyayari, and unfortunately, hindi sila nananalo na kagaya ng expect ng karamihang fans. Pero ako, I'm fine with the 1 and 2. I hope makabounce back sila. Pero, di ba, again, like I've said earlier, kung itong conference na to, maging parang yung Tony Bishop conference, di ba? So be it. Pero if they owe it to Justin Brownlee, baka bumalik si RHJ, hindi si Rahir, pero si Ronde, and gustong bumalik ni JB para maka-champion siya against RSJ, then let's do it, 'di ba? Pero sana wag madaliin. Yun lang naman sa akin. Let's just siguraduhin lang sana ng Ginebra na walang nirarush na players and hindi maapektuhan yung long-term growth of this team just because gusto nilang mag-champion ulit after couple of months being a champion or being champions against TNT. Maybe masilaw sila na chance na naman nila makabawi, yung mga ganun. So sana wag lang i-rush yung mga players na hindi dapat i-rush. If healthy naman na, then why not, 'di ba? Why not pabalikin si JB? I would love to see JB back. Pero if hindi naman 100%, 'di ba? Better na hindi na lang, na pagpahingahin na lang. Hindi naman ako maiinis kung ganun.